This is the all-new PINETA PEAK carbon fiber tripod from YC Onion. If that name sounds familiar, mainly because of the fact I've been using one of their electronic sliders here in the studio for a pretty long time. Now, as a solo content creator, I like to carry around a smaller tripod, especially if it's just me out there shooting by myself. But if you don't know, a lot of times for my day job, I actually go out and do some corporate videos, which definitely requires a little bit larger of a setup, longer lenses. Those smaller tripods aren't really designed for it, and that's where you're gonna wanna look into something like this. Now, why is this one any different than some of those bigger name tripods, Manfrotto, Benro? Mainly because of this right here. We have a single quick release, which allows you to then expand out your legs just like that, and adjust your height, lock it back down. All the legs have that, which allows you to now open them up, pull this out, and you can get your tripod set up in literally under a second. Now, the very first thing I was impressed about when I got this tripod was the build quality. Most of the tripods I've used just had that kind of plasticky feel, where here we do have a carbon fiber. They also have an aluminum option, but the whole body in general, with the head, everything is extremely, extremely well built. Now, if you guys know me, you guys know I focus a lot on user experience. And the one thing I do like about this tripod is that they made things that you are gonna be switching in and out a little bit larger, so it's easier to grab, it's easier to pull, and it just makes switching and performing a lot easier, especially when you're out there in the field. For instance, this quick shaft release, a large release, which makes it easy, like I said, to pull out your feet, lock it here. Then if you want to switch and go to a lower angle of a tripod, all you do is pop this and release it, and your tripod now opens up all the way. So when you do that with all three legs, if you guys needed to find that right balance, you are able to adjust it in multiple angles. Also, one thing that was kind of cool is that if you wanted to lock your tripod, so if you wanted to pull it down, lock it, there is a secondary lock on it. So if you wanted to lift it up by the leg, you can actually hold it by one of the shafts. But what's even better is that they integrated an actual handle into the tripod. Now, when it comes to the bottom of the tripod, what I do like here is that they have three different options as far as the feet go. So here I like this one because it does swivel, helps you place your tripod on uneven surfaces. And if you do shoot a lot of outdoor, of course, they have these spikes right here. Put it onto the bottom, that way these dig into the grass, the dirt, for you to have a lot more stability with your tripod in the outdoor settings. And finally, these are the standard ones. You got the little rounded, rubberized ones, pretty much all-purpose, all-surface type of feet, but this is the one I actually do like the most and the one I've been using the most when I use the tripod. Now, when I do say heavy duty, this thing is rated to hold up to 77 pounds of payload. And the one thing I do like about their head system is that they do have a bunch of options for you when you're mounting your camera. Now, right now it is set up using one of the optional center shafts. And like I said, one thing I really like, all of these levers are huge. So it's easy for you to lock and unlock things. So right now I'm gonna unlock the center shaft, raise this up just like that. So if I want to get a little bit more height, it is super easy to do so. I can lock it just like so. And then if I want to also remove it and drop this underneath, so if I wanted to get some really low angle shots, I can put this on the bottom of it, lock it up, so I can get really, really low to the ground if you're shooting landscapes and things like that. Now, I would normally use the center shaft the most just because I have a little bit of options here as far as height goes. But if you wanted to remove that center shaft, which again, pretty simple, all you have to do is pop this off. There's a little base right here. Remove the lock. And then if I wanted to drop something like this on there, this is called the coconut bowl. Once you tighten up the coconut bowl from the bottom, lock this up, take the head from here, quick release this one, locks just like that. And then now I can loosen it up. And then now you have free range to just get those angles that you weren't necessarily able to do. And there you go, you're all set. If you want to adjust your pan, of course, you could do all that. You can want to adjust your tilt, you're able to do that as well. But it just makes fine tuning those angles a lot easier with something like the coconut bowl head. Now, like I mentioned, this one does have the quick release on it. So if you want to have your camera rig all set up and you wanted to go from something like a full stationary shot and you want to be a little bit more mobile, all you do is unlock the quick release, drop it onto something like this. This is the PINETA Monopod. It has that same quick release technology that we have here, so you are able to adjust your monopod the same way. But all you do is take your camera setup, drop it here, lock it, and there you go. Now you can be off and running with a monopod. And if you want to adjust the height like that, as you can see, lock it here. And if I want to lower it, lift that up, lower it and lock it just like so. Now jumping back to that setup time, like I mentioned earlier, when I was setting this one up, what I wanted to do was just put it side by side with another popular brand tripod out there. As far as what you're gonna be kind of doing when you are adjusting the legs, expanding them out, how long that would take. Quick little side by side of expanding out one of the more popular tripods, as well as setting up this one right here, the PINETA tripod with the quick release legs. And again, just to show you how quickly I can collapse it, all I do is unlock these right there. This whole thing will drop, lock it back up, and that's about it. Now, as far as price goes, YC Onion did just release this tripod, and we do have a few different packages that they are offering. Now, for $549, you are able to get the tripod, and it will come with this right here, the coconut bowl head. So if you wanted to fine tune those angles, you're able to do that with this one. That comes in at $549, which is normally going to be $699. And the next package they have is for $699, which you'll get the bowl head, the tripod, and this fluid here, which is called the YC Onion FH75. This setup comes in at $699, which is normally going to be $799. And the final package is this one right here, which is all this, plus the central staff. So if you want to raise this up a lot taller, you're able to do that with this one. All this will come out to be $878, which will then go back to regular price at $978. And like I talked about earlier, the YC Onion, this is the Monopod, which I really like. This one comes in at $339. Now, the one thing I did forget to mention is that the tripod head actually does fit the standard plates that you would use on some of your other major brands. Also, the Manfrotto plates fit. But if you have something like this, like a gimbal, you are able to now take that plate from the gimbal, which is this one right here, the DJI plate, and you can actually use this one instead. So if you wanted to go from your tripod to your monopod, drop it onto your gimbal, you are able to do that because this fluid head is also universal with the DJI plate. And there it is, YC Onion's new setup, the PINETA tripod as well as the monopod. They are having a special right now because it is a new release. Of course, links will be all down below in the video description, so make sure you guys check those out. If you guys are looking for a fast setup, heavy duty tripod, as well as stuff like this, a monopod, links will be down below in the video description. As always, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. This is Ultra Saucio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.